has to win this second game. That's going to be eXtensive. If they lose this, they will be out of the Corsair Vengeance Cup, and their share of that $10,000 prize purse will no longer be up for grabs for them. And we're going to see pretty much nothing happening right now. No one's going to be lining up for those team fights. You've got eXtensive back in their spawns here, back in their jungles. Obviously on the blue team you're going to have eXtensive. On the purple team is going to be Absolute Legends. Absolute Legends looking to kind of congregate around their wolves, and also Ashe and Soraka being fairly ballsy, pushing into the opposition jungle. Have to be careful, they don't want to get caught out here. Vladimir chilling out on blue on his own. So, but we are going to see that same composition at bot lane of Ashe and Soraka, which seems to work so well for them last time. Ashe is maybe going to get caught out here, as they're going to have to burn a flash from Soraka. The exhaust has been used as well onto Munda here. Kog'Maw just teeing off onto Soraka. Soraka will be falling, no doubt whatsoever. Who's going to pick up the kill? It's going to be Cassiopeia taking first blood. And just as I said, the Ashe and Soraka being very ballsy, that risk did not pay off in the slightest. So Cassiopeia with a very strong start here. And Olaf looks to be filling in that mid-role, as Talon was definitely put there to try and counteract that Cassiopeia. So she is going to go towards top. Could perhaps expect to see some reversals there, with mid and top changing from now and again, as Olaf is a much better character to fare off against Talon than Cassiopeia is. And Vladimir, by and large, should get fairly dominated from Cassiopeia. Of course, it does depend on the players that are kind of taking part here, but you would definitely expect Cassiopeia to get the upper hand on that Vladimir, so definitely understandable, to say the least. But how's it faring for you, Abok? I mean, do you think that eXtensive can come back into this game and win it based on the team comp?
Yeah, well, whenever the teams were being picked, I looked at their team and sort of thought to myself, that's the stronger team, until Talon was picked. And I think that sort of just flipped their whole composition on their head. I think the Talon pick is going to be very, very beneficial and crucial to the outcome of the game. Most champions should be, but I think it's just because of his silence and his ulti and stuff like that, it'll do so much to help.
Yeah, in those team fights, you definitely expect to see Talon just cutthroating onto Cassiopeia and trying to silence her out. He also has that Shadow Assault as well, but there could be a gank kicking off here, and Olaf, realising there was a real danger there and a big price tag on the back of his head, will burn that Ghost just to get out of the way. Did not want to get caught out from that Jax. He does have a point in Counter-Strike and Leap as well, so he could have bridged that gap. Looks like Jax is going to wait for that Ghost to go ahead and come out there, and we are going to see a gank in that mid. Olaf could be going down. Ignite's on him. Talon and also Jax, and he will get dropped, but will he have that Ignite procced off at the right time to actually take down Talon as well? The answer is a no. Now Mundo's in heavy pain from that Jax, but he's going to be able to pull back to the tower, and that's going to bring it all back to 1-1 with Talon very nearly falling. But I like what Jax did there. Very, very sneaky. Waited for the Ghost to kind of run out, and then went back for round 2 and that second gank in mid.
Yeah, I'm still very surprised that Talon's still in mid. I don't know why he hasn't done the switch around. You know, everybody knows that Olaf is going to rape. Sorry, not rape, destroy. Talon in mid, you know. So I think they should have switched, but unless he's just hanging around, and he really needs those ganks in the mid all the time, and Olaf has to know that. He knows he can win the lane, but he's not going to win it because Jax is always going to be there.
Indeed, I think Jax is going to be very, very active in that mid, and we did just see Talon going back to spawn. He did buy up a Doran's Blade. He has a mana pot, a health pot, boots, and also a sight ward. So how is it faring at that bot lane at the moment? Kog'Maw on 21 creep score, Ashe on 30, so definitely getting the upper hand as of yet. But Kog'Maw is one of those characters, may start fairly slowly, but he definitely builds up momentum and speed towards the mid to late game. So he's definitely one to watch out for. Having said though, Jax is on the prowl once again. I think Jax is going to catch out Kog'Maw here, as he's kind of just chilling out by himself, but he has managed to quickly flash back towards his tower, and in the process actually not getting hit by that stun. Vladimir will go down in the mid from Cassiopeia. Will Cassiopeia also get dropped? The minions are attacking her. She's on about 40 HP, but she did just burn through and chug a health pot, so she is going to manage to survive just for now. And now Jax is on the prowl once again at that bot lane, looking to try and get that second kill, but instead he's going to get taken down from the tower. Beautiful ooze coming up from Kog'Maw, slowing him down, and that will pick up that kill at bot for Kog'Maw onto Jax. 3-1 now is the scoreline, and eXtensive are 700 gold ahead, so it is looking good for them here. But of course, the League of Legends is kind of a game of two halves, APOC. You can be well ahead the early game, but the mid to late game is where it really matters. Once that Baron really comes into play and the Dragons have came and gone, normally a team that gets the best of both of them is the team that wins. So still a long way to go in this game.
Yeah, but if you keep watching mid, eXtensive keeps switching the character around to keep Talon under control because he is so crucial. And Cass went mid, Talon went mid, and then switched back again, and they keep doing that for the whole game. Look, now Talon's going up top again. It's they're trying to get the advantage, and they have it by keep switching that.
Indeed, and I thought for a second perhaps Talon was going to be a bit more patient and wait for that gank onto Cassiopeia. He is currently level 6, so his tower diving capability is definitely quite strong right now. Cassiopeia doesn't have that petrifying gaze, so she won't get the double stun, or at least double slow, depending on whether her enemies are obviously facing her or not. But either way, Vladimir is going to push down. He is going to get hit quite heavily from those fangs and poisons. In fact, he could end up going down here as he's forced to pop off that sanguine pool. Talon comes to the rescue of his teammate, and that Vladimir will go down. I think Cassiopeia realised she was probably going to die flashing in there, but Talon's made a 3-course meal out of this one, and perhaps we're going to see Cassiopeia actually escaping as Talon's been petrifying gazed in the face. He's now going to be chasing after that Cassiopeia, and with the poisons down, Cassiopeia is somehow, I have no idea, by the skin of her teeth, going to be able to survive that one. Even though she flashed in with low health, take down Vladimir, Talon just kind of dribbled a tiny bit in that bush, and the flash back out of there. Brilliant juke there from Cassiopeia, and it's now 4 for 1. So eXtensive looking strong here, APOC.
Yeah, they're definitely off to the flare. It is about that mid, and I don't know what Talon's up to. I don't know how he messed that kill up. He had that kill so easy, and just managed to throw it away. And then he nearly had Mundo again there, and again messed it up. So it is going to be his fault, but I don't mean to be harsh on him, you know. But he is being bad.
I don't mean to be harsh on him, but he is being bad. Copyright APOC. There you go. The bombs
Tetris
have been dropped. Yeah, Tetris bombs been dropped, and he kind of did a double fail there. He got killed off Mundo, but you have to also give props to Cassiopeia because the way that she juked out of that bush was pretty awesome. You know, she went into the bush. Talon was thinking, okay, she's going to try and run down towards mid or perhaps through the blue golem, and instead Cassiopeia's like, whoop, and just flashes back again. So nice play from her, but Talon really should have picked up that kill. It looked like he was stuttering a tiny bit there, going backwards and forwards, and really caught in two minds, and that's what cost him that kill in the end. But either way, you have to look into the present and future. You can't be looking back into the past here. League of Legends, a very fast-paced game. We could still see Absolute Legends coming back very strong in this game and even taking it, so it could end up being for absolutely nothing. Either way, eXtensive looking good to pick up this second game as it stands right now. We are 9 minutes through, 11.5k going into eXtensive hands, 10.6k going for Absolute Legends, so you have pretty much a 1k gold advantage on the dot. It's going to be another fight here between Jax and Mundo. Soraka coming in to save her teammate there. Ash Arrow will come up as well, but does miss everybody. And now you're going to have Mundo popping that sadism. I'm going to be chasing after Soraka. Soraka is very squishy right now. Could be going down from Kog'Maw and Mundo. Indeed, she will do so. And Janna actually picking up the kills. So a bit of a head scratcher there. You really want Kog'Maw to be picking up as many kills as he possibly can. And Janna just coming in for the last hit there. So I don't know if there's going to be bad words exchanged between them two. I mean, a kill is a kill at the end of the day. And Kog'Maw did get an assist. That's also going to set up this dragon very nicely. But they have to be careful because here comes Vladimir and Talon. Talon will do a lot of AoE damage right now at level 7, but looks like he's been caught out. He is going to jump in though. Does silence down the Cassiopeia. Petrifying Gaze has been used. Shadow Assault also used, but Kog'Maw's ultimate lands on top of Talon, and that's going to be Talon dropping as well. Now Vladimir in all kinds of trouble. Is going to have to pull back with Sanguine Pool to his tower, and again, APOC, Talon kind of drooling all over his keyboard. I'm not sure about that one.
He had good intentions though. You know, that's the only thing I can say about that play. He tried to help his team, and he isn't helping at all. But he is one of those characters that doesn't have to be farmed. You know, he will do a lot of damage once he has like a few more items. But I do think they're still in with a chance because they're a more organized team in my eyes. You know, that always has that thing going for them. They're not far behind. Yes, it is 6 kills, but it's only 2.8k gold.
Yeah, very true. I mean, it's pretty much the gold that you have to keep an eye on. I mean, the kills are all well and good, but really it comes down to gold. And obviously farm and items much more important than how many kills you have. We've seen that time and time again in League of Legends. But I definitely say, the quality shines through in this game. And the longer the game goes on, we'd definitely expect to see Absolute Legends making more of a play here, there, and everywhere. Right now, they're looking very, very sloppy. I mean, Talon in particular, don't want to rag on him too much, but he has not been having the game of his life so far. He's now going to be coming towards top lane. Looks like there could be a potential gank on Olaf here. And Olaf, of course, does have that Ragnarok up, so he is going to be immune to disables if he pops it. But he wasn't quick enough to pop it on that occasion. Talon is still in the bush, so I'm not sure if they were planning on an actual gank there or what happened, because Talon hasn't moved a muscle. Perhaps they're setting up for round 2 once again. Jax is this kind of player, but now Talon comes out the bush, showing his hand there. And instead he's going to be picking up this creep score. Meanwhile at bot lane, thought for a second Mundo was perhaps going to try a cheeky gank onto Ashe and Soraka, but there is a ward down there from Soraka, so they saw Mundo and did manage to pull back, and they're not going to get caught out just yet. But
yeah, I think
again,
the reason Talon didn't come out of that bush because he was a way to get him up.
get way to clean up the drill on the keyboard and all that kind of jazz. Yeah, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Again, don't want to be too harsh to players because we try not to be here. But he's not having a great game by any stretch of the imagination. Either way, Cassiopeia is going to be pushing Jax in that mid. Vladimir will be recalling as he's on less than half HP. Now going to see Ashe once again coming under a lot of pressure from that Cogmore and Janna. Janna did manage to land the Howling Gale, but now she's coming under heavy attack from Ashe, and it's pretty much just kind of exchanging blows down there at bot lane. No one's really committing to a kill as such. But let's have a look at the creep score difference. Cogmore 73, Ashe is on 97. So as I said before, the way to get rid of Cogmore in this game is just simply to shut down his farm. So far, that's definitely been the case at that bot lane. He's going to try and last hit a few creeps under this tower and catch up, but he is still going to be fairly far behind here. And of course, Ashe is one of those characters as well, Apot, that we haven't really mentioned yet. Utility-wise, she's awesome. Her Ashe arrow, the enchanted crystal arrow that she fires out and can stun, can really set up those team fights nicely, can save teammates, can pick up a kill when someone's trying to escape on no health. She is going to be hit fairly heavily here from the Howling Gale and a few Cogmore attacks, but she's going to live to fight for another day and just wait for that Soraka to go and rejoin in the battle.
Yeah, well, Soraka still has her ulti up, Ashe is never under pressure, you always have that ulti coming out of Soraka, but I do think that composition at the bottom is very good compared to Extensives, but then the rest of the team is, that they are behind on it. I think the bottom lane will have to win it for Absolute Legends, but it's going to take a while to do that.
Yeah, Vladimir popping down Green Pool just to escape that because Petrifying Gaze had been used from that Cassiopeia in mid. And thought for a second maybe Cassiopeia was going to go all out aggression. She does have that blue buff, definitely blue dependent is Cassiopeia, because of course her poisons can be spammable and they're not exactly coming cheap. So she is going to be recalling back. Vladimir with Will of the Ancients, Cassiopeia now recalling. She did buy up Giant's Belt first with Sorcerer's Shoe, so it'll be quite interesting. I assume she's going to be going the route of Riley's Crystal Scepter first off, which of course is good for tankiness and does slow down enemies with every ability she uses, but a lot of people do like to build up that Will of the Ancients first with Cassiopeia and maybe a Rabadon, so not entirely sure if that's going to come back to bite her in the backside, but either way it could be a gank at bot lane. It's the Ashe arrow, as I said earlier, has set up a nice team fight here. Cogmore should be going down very comfortably. Hemoplague has been used. Talon also jumps on top of him. Will Janna be killed as well? Surely going to be going down here. There's Talon once again. Oh, for a second I thought he'd missed his opportunity, but Ashe will actually get the kill. She picks up the double, and that's going to allow Absolute Legends to slowly but surely crawl their way back as the AD carry is starting to get very, very beefy.
Yeah, well, there's still no powers down, although the bottom one is pretty much on its way down now. They still have the game, I think towers are more important than kills, purely because you can push up further and you've more map control. But Dragon's down also, it's going to be a close game. I think Absolute Legends have underestimated eXtensive in this game.
Well, I mean, they lost a lot of the early kills here, and I think Jax is actually going to go down. In fact, he's just going to manage to escape there. Janna has to pop Monsoon just to to heal up her teammates. In the meantime, at top lane, Vladimir is going to be taken down from Cassiopeia and Olaf, and that's going to be a tower completely vulnerable to attack. But we are going to see some more action at bot lane as Talon once again is going to fall, this time from Cogmore, who picks up his second kill. He's on 2-1-3 right now, and he did buy off that Wriggles Lantern first. So obviously he's going to be a big important factor in those Dragon and Baron fights now. As you're going to see, that top tower has been taken down. Nice ward coverage though from Jax going down on Dragon, so they know exactly what's up right now from eXtensive. The question is though, can they do anything about it? It's going to be a 3-on-3 exchange. Cogmore lands a couple nice shots onto Ashe. Going to look to keep harassing, and now Janet is in all kinds of trouble. She's being chased from Ashe. Ashe is going to continuously actually saw it down, has popped the ultimate as well, but it lands in the face of Cogmore. Hallengale comes up, does only just miss Ashe there, but Ashe is going to maybe go down here from Cogmore, who's popped his W. Oh, so much damage in the meantime. Jackson will be jumping onto Soraka. Cassiopeia will take that kill though, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange at the end, with the Dragon also going down. So again, goal difference starting to look very favourable in eXtensive hands, and Talent looking to push down bot here to try and pick up a kill, but there is a ward in that tri-bush. They know exactly what the deal is, and Cogmore only just missing on his living artillery. Gonna maybe go for another shot here, but Talon jumps in with Shadow Assault. Look at that raw damage. Cogmore could be going down. Either Storm saving him for now, and Talon could also be dying here. Indeed he will be, and you have to say, I mean, the Storm definitely saved Cogmore there, made Talon have to attack a few more times, which gave Cassiopeia the opportunity to land her poisons. But would you have stayed and fought there as Talon, or would you have just kept running in APOC? I mean, what are your thoughts about that one?
Well, yeah, the way I see it is, if you're going to die anyway, you may as well do as much damage as you can. I notice a lot of people, whenever they're being attacked, they just keep running away, and you're like, you're going to die, just do something to help your team out. Even knocking off half their health whenever you're trying to kill them, your team can come along, do a gank and get another kill instead of just running and leaving them on full health. And I just don't get that in games. Absolutely.
And I don't really get Talon's play this game. I mean, his stats aren't necessarily looking too great. He's on 1-4-3. He has a Brutalizer, he has Longsword, Ruby Crystal, assume that's going to be built into Phage relatively soon, 2 Doran's Blades, and Boots of Speed. You see Jax perhaps caught out here in mid lane, but he has that Counter-Strike, is going to stun Mundo. But Mundo doesn't really seem to be too bothered by that. It's going to keep chasing. Jax, however, leap strikes back onto one of his minions and will pull back. Score is 11-5. If you have just joined us, this is the Corsair Vengeance Cup between Absolute Legends and eXtensive. The first game went into Absolute Legends' hands, and that is going to mean that eXtensive simply have to win this game. Soraka is going to be harassed down from Mundo. Mundo could actually feasibly pick up this kill, and having said that though, probably won't, as here comes the cavalry in the form of Jax and Talon. But they are both going to pull back here, both teams, and don't really want to engage underneath that tower. And of course, Absolute Legends didn't want to try and push and apply some pressure in a 3 versus 4. There is Baron up now, of course, has been up for the last 4 or so minutes, and wouldn't be too surprised if we do see a Baron fight relatively soon in the next 3 or 4 minutes itself. In the meantime, it's going to be a bit of a farming fest here. Oh, Petrifying Gaze used to perfection. It does slow down 2 players, Vladimir and also Jackson. Vladimir will be getting dropped here, and in the meantime you're going to see around the side Talon trying to do some damage. Did nearly kill Janna there, but now he's going to be chased down from Olaf, and you have to feel he's going to die. He has already popped that Shadow Assault, only a matter of time. There we go. Talon has been completely crushed. Cassiopeia back onto Ashe. This is going to be a dead Soraka as well, so just Jax remaining. That was a 4-for-1 exchange there. Or was it actually a 4-for-0 exchange? It was a 4-for-0 exchange indeed. I thought for a second maybe one of the eXtensive players did fall, but that wasn't the case. And now that is going to be a free Baron APOC. So, you know, you've got to say eXtensive are looking good to take the second game. I don't think the Absolute Legends have brought their A game to this one. Maybe underestimating, as you say, maybe just the case that they're just not firing on all cylinders, or maybe just eXtensive upping their game and going through the gears.
Yeah, maybe eXtensive previous game was a warm-up game or something, you know, but they're absolutely dominant, and they've shown a whole new class to what they've brought to the last game. I do think they will win this. Obviously, they've got gold advantage, they've got tower advantage, they've got Baron, they've got everything going for them, and their teamwork is superb in this game.
Sorry, just replying to some of the comments in the chat there. Just to warn you guys, we don't control the camera, so if you have any gripes about the camera, we'll take that under advisement, but that's not something me and APOC can fix right now. Either way, let's get back into the action, as we're going to see that 15-5 scoreline coming out. 32.4k gold in hands of eXtensive, 2 towers down. On the flip side, 26.3k gold coming out for Absolute Legends with 1 tower down. And you'd have to say that eXtensive need to make the most of this Baron buff, because they are ahead on farm. Of course, that Baron buff is extremely beefy for the likes of HP and just pure damage. And if they don't make the most of this buff, it could actually come back to haunt them. As we are going to see perhaps a team engaged in mid here. Cassiopeia has burnt off that petrifying gate. She only caught one player though, and that was Vladimir. Nice Ragnarok coming out from Olaf there, but Jax actually somehow manages to jump through 4 players and take down that Cassiopeia. Janna picking up another kill onto Jax in the meantime. So 16 for 6, a 1-for-1 engage, but Jax is going to be fairly happy with that. I mean, Cassiopeia had that Baron buff, so it's worth a 1-for-1 exchange. We're now going to see the rest of eXtensive pushing this mid. As you're going to see Ash being hit in the air from that Howling Gale, perhaps will be going down. Had to burn that flash just to get away from the pure damage, but Cogmore exploding Ash with his living artillery. That's a beautiful shot there, beautiful skill shot landed, and that will be the mid tower going down as well. They're going to be looking to push as far as they possibly can before Jax and Ash respawn, as Cassiopeia has just respawned there for eXtensive. So now going to be going on to this next tower, the inhib tower. This should definitely be falling. Cogmore just spamming away there. The inhib tower has just fallen. I'm going to go for the inhib as well. Soraka actually flashing away there. Not sure if that was a mistake or she just felt a tiny bit under pressure and a tiny bit in danger, but that inhib is also going to go down. And of course, super minions APOC, such a huge advantage to your team, will allow eXtensive now pretty much to boss both jungles, pick up all that farm, and when they're ready, push onto those Nexus towers.
Yeah, it's pretty much like having a champion always in mid lane with the super minions. It means they can push top, they can push bottom. I think they really need to work on the bottom lane at the minute. While they pick up the dragon here as well, they may as well go down and take the tower. And push that one back. Talon's just farming that lane up.
Absolutely. As I'm going to kick back into the action here, and I mean, it's going to probably go fairly slow, no APOC. I mean, you know, whenever a team picks up that Baron, the first inhib goes down. There's a couple minutes where one team's trying their best to defend off against that Baron, maybe turtle in until Baron is has basically passed. And if I'm just going to click over to Cogmore, I mean, Baron is just over 3/4 done, so they're going to need to push this one fairly aggressively. Cogmore is going to try and take this bot tower down, but he needs to be careful because Talon is actually in the bushes. Although I'd have to say I would favour Cogmore quite comfortably to take this team fight if it goes that far. However, Jax is also pushing down, so we could see a gank here on Cogmore. In fact, I would be expecting to see just that, as Jax is going to flash through that ooze. Ash Arrow also comes in. Cogmore is going to get completely destroyed there, purely off the basis that Jax had that counter strike. And beautiful play coming in from Absolute Legends. That was definitely predetermined. Wanted to make sure Cogmore went down. That Baron buff now has been exhausted from him, and also importantly, that bot tower will not be falling, so that 1k global gold or thereabouts will not be coming out for eXtensive.
Yeah, again, it's wondering why Cogmore didn't even try and attack there at all. It mightn't have, obviously, he wouldn't have killed both of them. He might have even killed one of them, but that extra damage helps, you know, because Cass is pushing around bottom now. Could have set up gank, but I don't think it was that. It's nice to get a gank, but it's not going to be game changing.
Yep, for sure, not going to be a game changer, as it's still definitely in the hands, you have to say, of eXtensive. It's pretty much theirs to lose. If they do lose from this point, it's probably going to be more their doing than Absolute Legends. Having said that though, I mean, we are talking about, you know, when opportunities arise, will a team jump on that? And it appears that's exactly what Absolute Legends were attempting to do on Mutamundo, but of course sadism is going to allow him to pull back. In the meantime, that bot tower is going to go down from Janna, Cassiopeia and Olaf as well. And they're going to be pushing this second tier tower. Just Jax coming down to try and defend that one. And it looks like this tower will be going down without any fight whatsoever. I mean, Jax can't hope to try and defend off against these three, especially when you consider that Olaf is very, very beefy. Has Frozen Mallet and Warmog's armor, Cassiopeia, Rabadon's Death Cap, and Riley's Scepter, so she's very, very buffed as well, very, very much farmed. And that's going to allow them to pick up that tower. Now pull back as the cavalry has came in, as Ash, Talon, and Janna all join Jax. but a bit too little too late. And this is what I was talking about. With that Baron buff and inhibs down, it allows the team who does take the inhib down to basically push the side lanes and to get as much of that jungle as they possibly can. It's exactly what eXtensive have been doing so far. Going to try and pick up this blue buff, probably for Cassiopeia, and allow her to spam as much as she possibly wants. Indeed, she will pick that one up, and now they're going to just farm a bot lane. Talon has to be careful because he has 4 players pushing towards his position. Is it a case that he's going to try the fast recall, or is he going to try and run round? He is going to go for the recall, Olaf assuming that Talon is down in those bottom bushes. That's not going to be the case, and Talon will manage to escape. But still, definitely eXtensive's to win this game.
Yeah, definitely. Look at the gold advantage, look at the towers advantage. Cass is pretty much fed. Vlad has, I don't want to say he's brought nothing to the team, but you know, he's got 3 assists. He helps, but he's trying to push the towers down. I mean, so I suppose he is bringing something in that respect.
Yeah, he's trying to put pressure, but in the meantime, we're going to see a huge team fight kicking off at top lane. As Cassiopeia will go into Ash, and now Talon is going to try his best to actually pull back here, but he's got Mundo chasing him down. Cassiopeia will also get the kill onto Soraka, picking up that double, will be taking up the equation from Jax. Jax, in turn, gets shut down from Kog'Maw, and now Vladimir's going to do his best with that Hemoplay to pick up some kills, but he's not going to be able to do anything. And there comes the ace. 5 players down from Absolute Legends, just the 1 from eXtensive, and this will be the GG. The surrender vote has came in. So first game went to Absolute Legends, second game just went to eXtensive. It's going to be all down to that all-important deciding game here. Game number 3. This is Corsair Vengeance Cup. You're following Chaos TV. I'm Edis, joined by Farley Pock, or APOC as he's also known, and we will be right back in about 2 minutes after this quick commercial break for game